First Kartik class, the glorious sevas of Radharani. Vande Guru Paradvandvam. November 1st Kartik classes, the glorious sevas of Radharani, 2014. Vande Guru Paradvandvam Bhakta Vrinda Samanvitam Sri Chaitanya Prabhum Vande Nityananda Sahoditam Shri Nandanandaram Bhande Radhika Charanatayam Gopijana Samayuktam Vrindavana Manoharam Amala Kamala Raji Sparshi Vata Prashite Nija Sarasini Dage Sayamala Saniyam Parijana Gana Yukta Kridiyanti Bakarim Snapyati Nijadasye Radhika Mam Kadanu Radhika Mam Kadanu. We're reading the Sevas of Radharani as described by Tulsi Manjari, Raghunath Das Goswami, and Vilap Kusumanjali. And yesterday we did verse 72, discussion about the Radha and Krishna relaxing and reclining in their kunja after their intimacies in the afternoon leelas at Radhakund, Madhyan Leela, 2:48 to 11 to 3:12. And after having this vision and then meditating on the beautiful seva therein of massaging Radharani's feet, then he lost that and he was lamenting, "Oh Radharani, it was such a beautiful vision. I was serving you in my Siddha Sarup, but now I'm back in my Sadhaka Rup, and I'm hankering for your darshan, and I'm feeling so much separation from you. I'm lamenting in your separation. Oh, when will I attain you? When will I give up this body and attain your eternal service? And even now in my bhajan, when will you bless me and take me into the kingdom of Leela and give me a beautiful vision and sporti therein where I can render my coveted seva for the pleasure of your lotus feet?" So he's praying like that, then suddenly while he's chanting, all of a sudden a beautiful pastime opens up in the treasury room of his heart. He's chanting. And now it's not 2:48 in the afternoon, but it's midday, very beginning. And he's gone from Radhakund down the road 5 kilometers to Dan Gati. And he sees a very beautiful pastime called Dan Leela, or a tax pastime. So taxing of individuals has been going on for a long time. People have been paying road tax and property tax and luxury tax and income tax. So the gopis had to pay 2 taxes, road tax and income tax, because they were traveling on a road, a narrow passage from Barsana to come to Govinda Kund on this side. It's called Gati. Gati means narrow. Gati means narrow passage between the mountain, middle of the mountain. So Krishna stopped them to charge them a road tax and also an income tax because they had earned so much ghee and yogurt and butter and they were carrying their wealth on their head. So then he stopped and said, "Look, you have so much wealth, I have to take some wealth tax, income tax." So he saw this pastime, and when he came out of Sporti, then he wrote about it. And he concluded by saying, "I saw that, now when will I see it again?" Just like, as I mentioned a few times in the course of this class, the lucky sadhaka, shishya, on that fortunate evening, he may dream of his guru, or some shiksha guru or diksha guru, or to speak of his Thakurji or Krishna, and maybe instructions there, and wakes up, writes down what he heard, and remembers that, and it's such a sweet, wonderful experience. And he's thinking, "Oh, when will that happen again? Even though I pray every night for such a divine vision and special darshan, but it comes rarely of its own accord, by their sweet will, not by our demand or not even by our continuous prayers for such a vision during our resting time. And it's nice to write them down because they don't come, at least for myself, they don't come that often. So when you're feeling great separation from sadhus and saints that are no longer here, then you go through your diary and, oh, my dream of so-and-so. And then you read, and then practically you can experience that vision again through the description of your own words. This is called the sadhaka's diary. Very important to keep. Prabhupada told us we should keep a diary of some sort. My diary is kind of not by day but by experience. So a few experiences in a year. So it's not a heavy task to write. Months go by and there's no entries that I feel that are significant, worthy of writing. So this is text 73, which he shows us a little bit of what he's seeing, and he wrote it down as a sutra. He saw a whole pastime which will unfold in the commentary, and which is also revealed later. But this particular time in his lamentation, he had a short vision of this lila, and then he lost it, then he hankered for it. Then again he must have had a longer vision of the lila, because Raghunath Das Goswami wrote a very lengthy drama called Dan Keli Chintamani. It's in English, maybe you've seen. It's not a very big book, it's very small. Dan Keli Chintamani. And that Chintamani of his realizations about Krishna's Dan Lila came in an aftermath of great tragedy. And that Dan Keli Chintamani is full of humor. It's very funny. Is Haridas out there? Is the doors wide open? Okay, yeah. We have a chowkidar. I just wanted to see if he's doing anything. There's some chairs there. Kursi Leila. So, what happened was that Rupa Goswami wrote a drama called Lalita Madhav Natak, and he gave it for reading to Raghunath Das Goswami when he visited him in Radhakund. And Raghunath Das, he read that, Das Goswami, this Lalita Madhav, and he started crying and wailing in great anguish and sadness. How is it? Krishna's left Vrindavan, and he's gone to Dwarka, and now he's living with Satyabhama Rukmini and this whole Nava Vrindavan, and it's too tragic. And then this whole pastime and description there, how the Sakhis in Vrindavan and Radharani are going to the Yamuna repeatedly to drown and give up their bodies, and it's very full of pathos and a very tragic description. So he's crying, and he just didn't want to live anymore. He said, this happens, this is possible, Krishna leaves Vrindavan. Padma Puran says, Vrindavanam prityaja paramekam nagachati. Vrindavanam ekapadam nagachati. Krishna does not take one step out of Vrindavan, nor does Radhika. How is it that Rupa Goswami has written in Lalita Madhav that Krishna is in Dwarka? I will give up my body. He was so upset. Then Rupa met him later and said, he saw his precarious condition, and he said, Das Goswami, what has happened? He said, I've read your natak, your drama, and it devastated me. I'm just finished, and I want to give up my life. And so then, this is very bad. And Rupa Goswami thought what to do. So then Rupa Goswami wrote Dan Keli Komudi. It's about Dan Lila and Govardhan, or anywhere, but say Govardhan generally. Dan Gati. And that's full of humor, very humorous, Narma joking, and humor back and forth, Hasyaras, Parihasyaras, Gopis and the coward boys, and Madhamangal and Subal and Krishna, a very funny pastime. So then he said, no, I'll write something else. He wrote that, then he gave it to Raghunath Das. And Raghunath Das read that, and he recovered his life airs. He came back into his body and said, yes, life is worth living. This is my Krishna. He's here in Vrindavan, and he's taxing the gopis, and Lalita Sakhi is giving him the sauce and speaking gully. Lalita speaking gully words to him, hard words, harsh words. You this, that, you lumpat, you dirt, you kapat. Gully. Hard words. And so then he was very happy. And he was so happy that he sat down and said, happiness is one thing, but inspired. Because sometimes happiness brings inspiration also. So then, sometimes when people, generally artists and writers, when they're happy, they write love songs. And when they're miserable, they write vilap gun, songs of separation. Oh, my lover. Or they in America, they have something called the blues, the blues. My lover, she left me, dun 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 dun. I'm all by myself. This is American blues, right? Rhythm and blues. So this you write when you're sad and you're totally in another state of consciousness. Let's put it mildly. And you're so depressed and your beloved ran away. But now he's in a happy mood. So he wrote his own Dan Keli Chintamani. In this verse from Vilap Kusumanjali, he's having a sporty of that same Leela. So he says, Govardhana Adri Nikate Mukatena Narmha Leela Vidagda Shirasa Marutsudanena Danachchalena Bhavatim Avarudyamanam Drakshyamikim Brukuti Darpita Netra Yugmam. Brukuti Darpita Netra Yugmam. Madhusudan is the crest jewel of clever pranksters. That's his description here. Madhusudan. Lila Vidagda Shirasa. Shirasa. Vidagda. Vidagda means clever. So that's the translation of this line. Vidagda Shirasa Madhusudanena. Like we have Shirasana in yoga. You stand on your head. Madhusudan Sri Krishna is the crest jewel of clever pranksters. Means jokers, because it says Narma. Narma Lila Vidagda. Narma Lila means joking pastimes, funny pastimes. Narma Lila. Vidagda means expert, clever. So one day that Madhusudan obstructed your path, Radharani, because he's praying to Radharani. He's a Tulsi Manjari, his Siddha Swarup, Raghunath Das Goswami Siddhadeya. Siddha Swarup is Tulsi Manjari or Rati Manjari, two names. Radharani affectionately calls him Tulsi, or her, Tulsi Manjari. So that's the preferred name, although he's also known, or she's also known, as Rati Manjari, one who increases the conjugal feelings within the heart of Radha and Krishna by her seva, Rati. That's why she's called Rati, Rati Manjari. But Radharani mostly calls her Tulsi. Hey Tulsi, not, as I said, not Brinda Devi, or not that. Brinda Devi is Brinda Devi there, and here she's called Tulsi Devi. One day, Madhusudan obstructs your path on the pretext of collecting tax from you as you are walking near Govardhan Hill. When will I see your proud eyes crowned with frowned eyebrows? So, Darpita Netra Yugmam. So, Darpita means proudly, like Damba. We say Damba. In the Bhagavad Gita, Sura Asura Sampat, chapter 16, describes the Lakshana, characteristics or guna of the demon. It says Damba. Damba means pride. They're very proud of whatever they've done or whatever they're doing. Pride is considered to be a demoniac quality in conditioned souls, like you and I. But humility, tolerance, pridelessness, amanyata, is considered admirable and even worshipable. Tatikshva Krunika Surida Sarvik Dehina. Kapila Muni is telling in 3rd canto Bhagavatam the qualities of a worshipable entity, a Shreshta Jana, a devotee, a sadhu, saintly person. Tatikshva Krunika Surida Sarvadehina. Sarvadehina, the sadhu is friendly to everyone. Surit, Surit, Sarvadehina, to all living entities, all embodied living entities. He's friendly to the animals, the birds, the humans, everyone. Titikshva, Karunika, he's compassionate, tolerant. So these are saintly qualities, which means divine. Suras Daivi Gun. So now the commentary is explaining here. So here it's midday in Madhyan Leela from 10:48 in the morning until 3:36 every day in Nitya Leela, the Ashtakali Leela of Radha and Krishna. Radharani comes here to Radhakund, and Krishna comes here. And I have Jal Keli, Ban Bihar, Bhojan Leela, Pasha Kela, Rati Keli, Holi, Julan, Luka Luki, hide and seek, many, a whole series of pastimes in sequence here in this beautiful Leela Stali, and they pass 6 sweet and beautiful hours together with no intruders, no outsiders, no guru jana, no elders, superiors, mother, father, etc. No vipaksha sakis, no anti-party, rival party, Chandravali, Padma Shaivya. It's just, this is Radha Dham. All of Vrindavan is called Shri Dham Vrindavan Ki Jai. Because Shri Dham means the holy abode of Radha. Adya Shri, the original goddess of fortune. Radharani. Shri Dham Vrindavan. So the entirety of Vrindavan is Radha. Belongs to Radha. Vrindavaneshri Radha. In Hindi they say Radha Sarkar. Radha Sarkar, it's her government. She's this Pradhan Mantri. Radharani is the Pradhan Mantri of this Trasi Kosh Braj Mandal. She's a Pradhan Mantri. We have a female Pradhan Mantri here since time eternal. And Krishna worships her feet. You saw yesterday's darshan in Madan Mohan? And there was Subal Vesh and Govindaji was Subal Vesh. That's the special day on this. Then I think 2 days after the end of Kartik, again they have special darshan. I think so. And there's 2 times a year in Vrindavan temples they have. It's like after Chaturmasi, after Kartik, 2 or 3 days, and on this day of yesterday in Gopastami. But here in Govindaji temple, and there in Jaipur, and there in Vrindavan, it's Subal Vesh. Radharani dresses as Sakha. And Madan Mohan in Vrindavan, Madan Mohan in Karoli, and Madan Mohan in Kamvan, and Madan Mohan in Radhakund, because it's all the same trust. Bengali temple trust and Goswamis. Madan Mohan is a Kotwari. He becomes Radharani's Kotwari, which means Chokidar. I don't know if you saw the darshan, but Radharani was up on the top. And different temples, they even make her look like a queen. They put Utsav legs on her. She's just standing, of course, like this, but then they make it look like she's sitting on a throne, like a queen, and they have some plastic legs that go, like as she's sitting. Like your legs go like that, your knees go down. And then put her sari on. They make it in such a way, although the deity's standing, obviously, same Radharani Murti I've seen. So Radharani was on the top and Krishna was down. She was on the top step and even put up on a box or something. And her dress was opened up like this. And you saw Madan Mohan, fantastic darshan. Really, and this Pujari is really artistic and really, talented. And I've seen they have many rotating Pujaris there. And he's really good, very nice. And he did the best job I've ever seen. It was amazing. You could see his bhava as Radharani is the best, Radharani is the top, Radharani is the only one, Radha, Kevala Radha. Because he had Radharani way up there. Did you see? Anyone? You saw it? Yeah. And then way down, Krishna was, sometimes he's only 1 step down, Krishna was like 3 steps down, and he's, of course, his murti's like this. But in his hat, and they put a shield in front, like a round, shield, and they put a sword on his side, and he's Radharani's Chokidar. So this is this Vrindavan. So he's saying, when will I see your proud eyes, Darpita Netra Yugmam, Brukuti. This is Brukuti, means your Radharani is, when Krishna taxes her and says she has to pay a tax, and she frowns her eyebrows and looks at him like, who do you think you are? And so the pastime is describing that, as I said, she spends 6 hours here. Now, why is she over there? Now, it's 11 o'clock in the morning, 11 to 12 is a Dan Gati Leela. At Govardhan, midday, and midday she should be here. She should be just coming to Radhakund. So what happened is, it's described that in Mathura, Vasudeva, the father of Balaram, he is a Kshatriya, and he wanted to engage some Brahmins and Rishis in doing some yagyas for the benefit of his putra, his son, Balaram. So he commissioned Bhagori Rishi and Shandilya Muni, or some other great rishis that were living here 5,000 years ago. He said, listen, go to Govinda Kund, because Govinda Kund is famous since time eternal, all throughout the Puranas. Of course, the Leela manifested here in Prakat Leela 5,000 years ago. But Krishna's pastimes are eternal, going on every day of Brahma. So that place, Govinda Kund, is described in Padma Purana and Skanda, very famous place of Leelas, and special months of the year. There's special functions there, and certain months of the year, if you do a yagya there, or if you take a bath there, you get so much punya phala and sukriti. And that's all described there. It was even painted in Hindi on one wall of some building near Govinda Kund. It was painted. Anyone who comes here in Ashad month, something like June or whatever, Ashad month, and bathes in Govinda Kund and does a yagya on the banks, he gets the benefit of one Ashwamedha, and all these things. It was written in Hindi as a glorification and maybe to encourage people to take advantage of this special Leela Stali. Powerful also, Pavitram Stan. So knowing that, Vasudeva commissioned Bhagori to do a yagya there for the welfare. And the gopis, they heard about it, because when there's a big yagya, you need lots of ghee. And the ghee comes from the gwals, gopis and gopas. That's what they offer for the Brahmins and for everyone. So the gopis heard about that, and they also heard the sages passed the word. Bhagori Rishi was passed that anyone who comes and gives a donation for this Mahayagya, for Balaram's hita, benefit, then they will get their desires fulfilled. The rishis were going to give that ashirvad to anyone who would donate ghee. He has so much tapabalam, and so much spiritual power and stored strength that he can direct it to some individual and bless them with his ashirvad and fulfill their heart's desire or give fruition of their sankalp. So the gopis heard that, and of course the only thing they want from the rishi is that he will bless them, that they can meet Krishna without any obstacles or obstructions every day. No impediments or obstructions from Mother Jatila, the mother-in-law of Radharani. So they all went there, and then Radharani, she actually heard about all this from her pet parrot named Shukshmati. This is kind of like the internet news service. We have internet news service now that knowledge is flying around the air from satellite to your TV, cell phone, and computer. So then the knowledge was also being carried through the air, but it was being carried by parrots, Tota. TMS, as I call, Tota Messenger Service. And Radharani and Vrindadevi, they have a huge system of TMS. It's like they have a monopoly on the system. There's, at least here there's Airtel and Idea and others, but it's only Vrindadevi has the only message service. Of course, Krishna has his own KMS, Krishna Messenger Service, with his own male parrots, Vichakshana and Daksha and Vichakshana, and some others, Sudakshana or whatever. There's 6 or 8 key parrots that work intimately with Radharani. 3 or 4 with Radharani and 3 or 4 with Krishna. So she got the message, oh, there's this big yagya, and this benediction is there. So all the Sakhis, they got together in a happy mood and they proceeded carrying all kinds of ghee on their heads, and they're walking there. And they were thinking, they told their parents, oh, we're going to donate ghee here for this yagya. But they only used that as a pretext and excuse. Hopefully they would meet Krishna. Donating the ghee because they're only giving the ghee so they would get their desire fulfilled to meet Krishna. But they were hoping that they would meet Krishna anyway. And that's the whole reason they went out there. Because it gave them a legitimate excuse to leave their homes on the pretext of Sarudan. So Radharani, while she was walking along, she was casting her eyes here and there, looking, where is the Lord of my life? Where is my Prananath? So now the question can be asked that Radharani heard from a parrot about this yagya, so she's proceeding to Govinda Kund. But how did Krishna go there? Because there was no appointed sanket in the morning. It's a very sweet and beautiful way which Krishna and Radharani learn where they will meet each day. Stop doing that thing. I mean, okay, you're bored, but it's going like, go to sleep or something. So how they convey their messages, sometimes they send likana, love letters, but that's not really a message for a sanket or abhisar to meet somewhere. But one way they do it was when the manjaris, when Radharani is cooking, she comes every morning to cook Krishna's breakfast in Nandagaon about 7:30. And when she's cooking in the kitchen, then the manjaris and they come and they serve the bhoga to Krishna. And Yashoda, Rohini, sometimes manjaris are there. And then when they're serving, then Radharani tells the manjari, I want you to indicate to Krishna where we'll meet today. So they have a whole system of messages that each one of Krishna's fingers, his fingers, they represent a Leela Stali. This is their secret communication system, Srina Manjaris. And so when they're manjaris or Sakhi manjaris, gopis, when they're serving, Krishna's eating, he's taking his prasad, and he has his hand on the floor like this. His fingers are like this on the floor. And then when the manjaris walk by, they'll touch their toe to this finger. This means Radhakund. This means Govardhan. This means Vrindavan. Like this. So Krishna's like this, he's eating it. And Yashoda doesn't have the slightest idea about this secret communication system. Krishna's hand is there, and the manjaris are walking very carefully. And then I goes. So then the manjari goes back and says, we told Krishna to come to here and there. But this particular morning in Nandagram, there was no communication. So Krishna didn't really know. He just assumed, well, I'll go to Radhakund. I meet Radharani at Radhakund every day. So how did Krishna know to go? So he has his KMS, Krishna Messenger Service, his very expert and intelligent parrot named Vichakshana. So he was flying around doing surveillance, as they do. All these governments have their cameras up there watching us and taking pictures of us all the time. Watching every move we make, Google, Global, etc. So the parrot was saying, oh, Radharani, they're not taking the turn, they're not going from Barsana, the road from Barsana to Radhakund, there is a road. The people live at Radhakund, they know the back way to Barsana. So when you get a taxi from Vrindavan, they go the long way. But when you get a taxi from here, they go the short way. There's a shortcut that way. So then they weren't coming on the road from Barsana to Radhakund. They're going straight from Barsana to Govardhan. So that news was given. So Krishna heard that, so he immediately collected all his coward boys and he climbed to the top of Govardhan Hill with Subal Madamango to a place known as Shamvedi, and he erected a toll station there. When Radharani eagerly arrived at Manasi Ganga with her girlfriends, she remembered, when she saw Manasi Ganga, she remembered Krishna when she saw so many black Brahmar, these black bumblebees buzzing around the lotus flowers, swaying in the Manasi Ganga. She said, oh, this reminds me of Sham. Where is Sham? Will he come? Where is he? Maybe I'll see him. Where is he? So then she remembers him, and then she becomes overwhelmed. And then suddenly she hears Krishna's flute playing. And then Krishna's just playing his flute and Krishna's biding his time, waiting for Radharani to come to that narrow passage. He's just playing his flute. Radharani hears it. That's Sham's Bansuri Gan. So madur, so sweet, so attractive. And then Krishna says, hey Sakas, let us perform. Oh, when Radharani hears that, she says, oh Sakis, we should perform some austerities in this life and take a sankalpa that next life we can be born as Bants Janam. Next life, Bants means bamboo, this tree. Next life we can be born as bamboo, and someone will cut us down and drill holes on us and then burn us and dry us out and offer us to Krishna. Then day and night we can relish the nectar of Krishna's lips and no one will say anything. So this is their desire. They're human beings, culture developed human beings, and they want to be born as a tree, which is considered a lowly birth because of its immobility and lack of developed consciousness. But that's their bhavana. And we don't think that this is an ordinary birth. It's the highest, Radharani is saying, this is the highest birth in this world. Because only the bamboo flutes and no other species can relish the nectar of Krishna's beautiful cherry red lips. Slowly Radhika walks on, immersed in talking about Krishna with her friends. And her delicate body starts expressing different emotions. Suddenly, Brinda sees Krishna standing on top of Govardhan at Shamvedi near Dangati. And he says, oh, look, Radha, look how beautiful Sham looks on top of Govardhan. Then in great amazement, Radhika says, oh, Brinde, that's not Sham. Who is that? I don't recognize him. I've seen him many times. But I don't, that doesn't seem like Krishna. It's some other man, very beautiful, very attractive. Even more attractive than Krishna. How is it possible? I've never seen Krishna look so sweet before, standing like this. It can't be him, but how can it be anybody else? How can there be anyone else more attractive and sweet and beautiful and charming than Sham? But it's not. It's a new person. It's a Navya Gopa. Who is it? My eyes have never been able to drink even a drop of his beauty. So obviously Radharani is in Brahm. It's called Prem Vibram, or Prem Brahm. She's bewildered due to Prem, because Prem has intensities. Sneha, Man, Pranaya, Rag, Anurag, Bhav, Mahabhav, Modanakya, Mahanakya, Divyon Mad, Mahanakya, Mahabhav. So many pitches and degrees and expressions of union and separation. So this Rag, Anurag, Bhav, Anubhav. So then Anurag is what she's experiencing now. That is Sneha, Man, Pranaya, Rag, Anurag. This is Sneha, Man, Pranaya, Rag. This is the 5th degree. Like in karate, they have, black belt, 1st degree, and 2nd degree, and whatever. Some more proficiency and expertise in the art of martial arts. So the same thing, the intensities of love, they go higher and higher. More depth, more experience, more ecstasy, more involvement, absorption. So Anurag the symptom and description of Anurag in Ujjvala Nilamani by Rupa Goswami is that you have such intense rag. Your heart, because rag means intense attachment, rag means colored. Color, rang, color. Red, blue, yellow. So you have such, your loving attraction for your beloved, the beloved's loving attraction for the lover is increasing moment by moment exponentially and becoming so intensified and so exhilarated and accelerated that her rag goes on, increases, her attachment for her lover increases more and more and more to such a point that she doesn't recognize her lover anymore. And her lover appears like a totally different person whom she doesn't recognize at all due to the intensity of her loving attraction and attachment. This is the height, one of the highest levels of pure love, Krishna Prema. Anuragani Radha. So that's what's happening when she says, because there's even sometimes Radharani in other pastimes, she's with Krishna a whole afternoon, and then she goes to Barsana after Surya Puja at about 4 or so in the afternoon, 4:30. After Surya Puja, she returns to Barsana and waits for Krishna to pass by with Uttara Goshta Lila, returning with all the cows and cowherd boys going to Nandagram, which is north of Barsana. You have to go right through Barsana to get to Nandagram, conveniently enough. Krishna commutes every day to work. His commuting every day to work, he goes right by his beloved's house. Because he lives in Nandagram, he works in Govardhan, and between the two is Barsana. Barsane Wali Radhi, Shri Radhi Radhi. So Radharani goes back to Barsana with all of her Sakhi Manjaris, and she's anxiously waiting for Krishna's return. And then when she sees him from the palace, and she looks in a distance from the Chandra Shalika on top of the roof of Vrishabhanu's palace, and she sees the dust, the goduli raised by the hoofs of the cows. Oh, here comes, Krishna's coming. Somewhere inside that dust cloud is the Sham, Ganasham. And that goduli meg. Inside that goduli meg, there's another meg. There's Ganasham, Ganasham, Ganasham Radhi Radhi, Ganasham Radhi Radhi. The kunja me viraje, Ganasham Radhi Radhi. So inside that goduli meg, that cloud of goduli dust, there is Shamsundar. Ganasham. Gana means condensed. Ganasham means dark, beautiful, bluish black like a monsoon cloud. But Gana means, we say Ganaras, sugar cane is called Ganaras. Means condensed water, thick water, sweet, thick water. So Ganasham means he's a thick, condensed rain cloud of ras, Sham ras. And he's inside that goduli is that cloud of Sham ras. And when the lightning of Radharani's form, because she's Tadit Suvarna Champaka, when the lightning of Radharani's glance, the lightning bolt of Radharani's glance, simply strikes that Ganasham rasa-filled cloud of Gopika Prem, Krishna, then he'll burst, be a cloud burst, and drench all the gopis' hearts with a downpour of loving Krishna Prem. So this is what she's seeing. Then she becomes so excited and she runs downstairs, and they wait on the side, behind some kunjas, because they don't want the other cowherd boys. Krishna always walks in the back. First it's all the cows, then the cowherd boys, and then Balaram, then Krishna's intimate friends, Gobata and Kinkini and Vigdagda and Sunandan and all these different ones, Stoka Krishna, then Dao, Balaram, and then last, but not least, last is Krishna. So the gopis are waiting there, and they say, go, go, and then all the cows go and all the cowherd boys go. Then sometimes a manjari comes out and takes Radharani from behind and pulls her out in front of Krishna. This is in Sankalpa Kalpadruma, Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur. And then Radharani scolds Vinod Vallari Manjari, Vishwanath. Hey, why you took my hand and pulled me out in front of that lampat on the road? And then he prays in Sankalpa Kalpa Drum. Vishwanath is praying. That's in English also. And he prays, oh, when will you scold me for pulling you out of the kunj where you're hidingly glancing at Krishna as he passes on the road to Nandagram? When will you scold me? and I'll relish those nectar words of your rebukes with the greatest happiness. I guess actually Radharani really wants to be pulled out of the kunj and pulled right in front of Krishna. But she's too much lajja, too much shy to go on her own accord. So the Mandri knows her heart. Mandri knows her icha. Tat tad bhav ichatmika. Tat tad bhav ichatmika. This is the bhakti or the devotion of the Mandris, is their tadatmika, their desires be one with the bhav and feelings and desires of Radharani, their bhav, their icha. And they are, because they're one in heart with Radharani, so they're one in desire. So the Mandri Sakhis, Rupa Mandri, Rati Mandri, Tulsi Mandri, Kasturi, Lavanga, and all the Guru Sakhis in our line are all in that one mind and one heart with Radharani. Like in India, those Hindi love songs, they say, Do Sharir, Ek Atma Do Sharir, husband and wife are one in soul and two in body, or one in heart. That's a nice song, but it's not true. But in the spiritual dimension, with the mandris, then it's really tadatmika bhav. The mandris, more so than even the Sakhis, Radharani's Palyadasi Kinkari mandris, they are one in heart with Radharani, one in bhav and one in body. Only that oneness of Atma. Atma means body. Atma means mind, and Atma means soul or identity, the jiva. So Atma means our complete, full, holistic identity, Atma. So Tadatmika Bhav means that they're one with Radharani's Bhav, one with Radharani's mind, her Icha and desire, and one with her body. How so? When Radharani is embracing Krishna in the Kunja, and Rati Keli, conjugal vilas, amorous affairs, and the Sakhi Mandris rendering a humble service of massaging Radharani's feet or fanning her or simply gazing upon her beautiful form. And Radharani trembles in delight from the loving embrace of her Priyatam Sham, and then the Mandri also trembles. Radharani's hair stands on end, the Mandri's hair stands on end. The Mandri comes ahead of time to Radhakund to prepare the kunjas for Madhyan Leela, and Radharani's arrival and Krishna's arrival for their pastimes here. Radhakund is 10, 15, 20 kilometers or so from Barsana, quite a ways. And suddenly, what to speak of Yavat? Yavat is where Radharani stays sometimes also. And sometimes Radharani's mother-in-law, Chatila, she says, no, you can't go. I won't let you go out and do Surya Puja. You have to stay home. And then Radharani goes in her room and starts crying. So much sadness, so much unhappiness that she's prevented from going out to meet Krishna that day. As soon as Radharani, the second Radharani starts crying, that same second, the Mandri decorating the kunjas and preparing the footpaths and sweeping the footpaths and making garlands, making everything picture perfect for the pleasure yugal, she starts crying. That's why the mandris are said to be, and they are, tadatmika, completely with Radha and Krishna. So how does Krishna know that Radharani is approaching? Because his parrot told him, Radharani hears the flute, and now she's feeling this anurag, and she's bewildered. This Prem Brahm, she's bewildered her, and she doesn't even recognize. So that same pastime I was telling you is another instance of anurag. When Radharani, she spent 5 hours, 6 hours with Krishna at Radhakund, and then when just shortly after that she went to Barsana and then greeted Krishna when he was returning with the cows about 5:30 or so. It was only an hour or two since they've been separated. So then Radharani, when she saw Krishna one day, the Sakhis, Lalita said, look, look, here comes Shyam. Then Radharani looked, that's not Shyam. That's some other coward boy. Shyam must have already passed. He certainly looks like Shyam, but it's not Shyam, it can't be Shyam. And then Lalita says, Are, Sakhi, you just spent 6 hours. You just spent 6 hours with this coward boy in Radhakund. And the most confidential, intimate exchanges of love and joviality. Jal Keli and Pasha Kela and so many things, laughing, joking, everything. Madhupan, honey wine drinking. And now, and it's the same Krishna, look, he has the same Pidambara dhoti, the same Pidambara chadar. He has the same chudamani, same top knot. And his see this top knot? It's distinctive. Only Krishna around this top knot, he has a yellow silk rope. There's a yellow silk rope, and the ends of that silk rope are strands of pearls. And that's the rope, that's Krishna's cowherding rope. It's only 1 meter long. And he uses it to tie the legs of the cow when he's milking the cow, or to tie up the calf. And it's tied around like that, and it's hanging down so artistically. And that Morpunk, that's Shyam. These are his distinctive chinna markings. How is it no, it's not. I've never seen this person. I've never met him. I don't know who this is. And like, how is this possible? This is Anurag, Anuragani Radha. So now she's like this. So now Radharani is hearing Krishna's flute, knowing that he's nearby, because the flute is being played from near, and anticipating she'll meet him any moment, because that's what she lives for, and that's what he lives for. And now what is Krishna's response? How is he? Is he cool, calm, and collective, or is he going to be also somewhat bewildered upon seeing Radha? So in his Dan Keli Chintamani, then Das Goswami is explaining how Krishna felt when he saw Radharani at Dan Gati, during the Dan Gati Leela, which is describing this particular sporty that he had in Vilapa Kusumanjali. So when Krishna sees Radharani, he is confused. He doesn't know what to make of what his vision, because he's been bewildered and confused many times before. So he says, Fula Champak Vali Cavalier Iyam, Kim no nasa jangama, Kim vidyul latika tatir, Nahi ganai, Sakhe shana dyotini, Kim jyotir lahari, Sarin nahi na sa, Murtim wahe tadruvam, Gyatam aso Sakhi kul, Vrita raram sputam panchati. Hey Subal, what am I seeing? Who is this? Is this a vine of champak flowers? No, because a tree, or vine or tree, whatever, a tree cannot move. Is this a strike of lightning? No, because lightning is very fickle. It's chanchal. You see it for 1 second, then it disappears behind the clouds. But this lightning strike is not moving, it's just there. And is this a rushing river of effulgence? No, because a river has no real form, it's just moving here and there. But this rushing river, brilliant rushing river, has a beautiful form. Then I know for sure that it must be Radharani with her Sakhi Kul. He says, Gyatam Sakhi Kul Brita Radham Sputam. Must be Radha, but I'm bewildered. It doesn't appear to be Radha. So now this goes on. He says, actually it must be Radha. And her golden limbs are the beautiful banner of fame. They're like a flag of fame for King Vrishabhanu. And she is a virtuous younger sister of Sridham. And the moonlight that soothes the eyes of her girlfriends. And Radharani is a sitting place for my peacock-like heart. So when Radharani sees Krishna's bewilderment at Dangati, how does she feel about that? She starts walking very slowly, and her heart is filled with waves of emotion. And then she tells Lalita, "Oh, please walk very slowly. I feel some pain in my feet and I can't walk." This is a joke, actually. She says, "Oh," because Lalita's looking and sees Krishna on top of the hill, and then Radharani sees him, and she says, "Walk really slowly." Because as Radharani walks slowly, because she doesn't want Krishna to think I'm in a hurry. She's walking quickly, and then Krishna will think, "Oh, look how quickly she's coming." So she says, "Walk slowly. I have to walk. Let's walk. My feet hurt." So when Lalita hears says, "Oh yeah, really?" She starts laughing. "Acha, listen, Saki. You don't have any problem with the problem. Is not in your feet. Just see. Look how Krishna is dressed up in his tax collector dress." Now they're within each other's earshot. They can hear each other. They're looking at each other. Then Subal says, "Listen, Sakis, where are you going with all these pots of ghee on your heads, ignoring this toll station set up by the Lord of this area?" And the gopis, they don't even pay any attention to Subal. They proudly walk on without even moving an eyebrow. Sham Nagar, Krishna, the romantic hero, he's watching every step that Swamini Radha is taking. When he hears the jingling of her ankle bells, it sprinkles his ears with nectar, and he comes forward, enchanting the gopis with his soft smile, his glances, and the flute in his hand. Because he's the beloved of their hearts, their prananath. The fish-like eyes of the Sakis and Mandris swim in the ocean of Yugal's sweetness. So all the Sakis and Mandris, their eyes are on Radha and Krishna. Everyone's looking at them. And they're just swimming. Because Krishna is called Madhurya Purushottam. And Radharani is called Madhuri Radha. But when you combine the two, the sum total of two becomes more than three. It becomes infinite expansion. Krishna is sweet, Radharani is sweet. But when you combine them, they become the sweetest of the sweet. So then their eyes are lost, swimming in this vast ocean, this Madhurya Sindhu, Yugal Madhurya Sindhu, the vast ocean of sweetness produced by the meeting of Radha and Krishna Yugal, Radha Govinda Yugal. How beautifully Swamini moves her eyes when Krishna blocks her path and says, "Listen, pay me the tax before you pass." Then Radharani was expressing many feelings together. There's a combination of 5 or 6 feelings which are a type of bhav in this rasa vichar, consideration of ras. It's an amazing combination. It's called kila kinchit bhav, where there's an expression of anger, shyness, and desire, and hankering, and many, not all, more things also not mentioned, simultaneously in the expression called, and Krishna loves this, when Radharani shows anger in her eyes, she speaks anger with her words, she shows desire in her eyes, and she shows shyness in her face, the way she hangs her face down, and her movements, and then she shows pride by walking on. All different ways Radharani displays different expressions of her body and face and hands, indicate these different emotions which combine together to make a beautiful combination of bhav called Kila Kinchit. First the Sakis take up the defense and Swamini remains grave and silent. Sometimes Shyam comes up to touch Radhika and says, "Listen, what tax do I want? You have to pay me your youthful beauty, your Saundarya, Yovanam Saundarya, your youthful beauty." Then Radharani frowns her eyebrows, when she frowns her eyebrows which are compared to the bows of Cupid, an attractive woman, a woman with proper womanly attractive features, actually has curving eyebrows. Many women or men or whatever not just have straight, but they curve like a bow. So that's why that analogy is used, the Kandarpa Brukuti. Kandarpa Brukuti. Brukuti means the eyebrow. It's very interesting. In English there's a word called brow. Eyebrow. And that word in Sanskrit, maybe Hindi, I don't know, it's called Brukuti, B-R-U, and B-R-W in English. And 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is explaining how the yogi does dhyan. So you should sit in Padmasana, and then sit in Padmasana, and then you should, with half-closed eyes, you should stare at the Trikuti. It says Brukuti. Should fix his gaze in the it says Madhya Brukuti. Should fix his gaze between the two eyebrows. Brukuti means eyebrow, Madhya means middle. That's called the Agya Chakra. That's the seat of control of the mind. That's the pivot, that's the chakra which controls the mind. Agya. That's why it's called command. Agya means order or command. Agya, Guru Agya. It's called Agya Chakra because from there you can command the world. If you can control your mind and breathing and senses through meditation on the Prakriti, Krishna is telling in the Gita, that's the way to meditate, Dhyan Yoga. We chant Hare Krishna. The Bhaktas, they meditate on the Anahata Chakra. Anahata Chakra is the heart chakra, which represents karuna, compassion, love, bhakti. That's in the region there, Anahata. So that's good enough for us. Love is more powerful than anything else. You may have all the mental power in the world, all the physical power, all the intellectual power and money power, but you can easily be defeated by the power of love. Mercy above justice, love above power. This is the phrase. Mercy above justice, love above power. So think about it, and you can find so many examples to prove those points. So now Krishna stops them for taxes, and they're ignoring him. And then they have a beautiful conversation with lots of humor. And then she says, listen, he says, then Radharani replies, and the Sakhis sarcastically say, "Oh, tax collector! Now they're also charging a tax on youth these days. I mean, there's luxury tax and road tax and car tax and sales tax and income tax and this tax and gain and this and that, real estate tax. Now they're taxing young people. If you're under 25, you have to pay a tax. If you're 16 or under, you have to pay a tax. They're taxing white teeth and blue eyes, or what? It's like ridiculous. What are they going to do? So that's what they're saying. They're sarcastically saying, "Oh, really? That's interesting when they're taxing youth." So they ignore him and walk on. Then Shyam says, "I dare you to ignore me? Don't get so offensive now. Listen, oh Chandi." And Chandi is the name for Durga. When she's in a very hot and aggressive mood, she's called Chandi, Durga. So Krishna calls Radharani Chandi. He says, because they're trying to ignore him. So Krishna says, there's no need to try to chase away a black snake, because when he simply hisses at you, you will be enchanted. That's what Krishna says in Braj Bhasha. So there's an internal meaning, because black snake means Krishna Kundali. Kundali is another name for a snake, the way they move. So an internal meaning is when Krishna wears nice Makar Kundala and simply kisses you, you will be enchanted. So instead of hissing like a snake, he'll not hiss, but he will kiss you. This is Krishna's joking words. So, because lovers at that high level, they can freely joke about each other, at each other, with each other, in any which way, because there's full love, trust, confidence. They're totally lost in each other's lives. Your life is my life is your life. So Radha and Krishna are the epitome of the purest, divine, transcendental love. There's no inhibitions, no egos. It's just a free flow of loving exchanges for the pleasure of one another, without the intrusion of hankar and one-upmanship and all the other things that contaminate mundane relationships. That's the beauty and attraction of it all, which impels a cultured person to search for the truth. And the truth is beautiful, and the truth is love, and the truth is Krishna. So this is now they're having their hasya ras, or parihasya ras. So then, so how do they reply? So Swamini Radha proudly frowns her eyebrows and says, "Ha! Do you think a black snake will have any success when he meets a nakul stree," which means a female mongoose? Because a mongoose is a kind of a long rodent. You see them running across the road sometimes, and when you go through the villages, they're about this long, and some kind of, I don't know, rat or something or whatever. It's about this long and very furry, dark brown. They have a pointed mouth with lots of little sharp teeth. It's called a mongoose, and they fight. They eat snakes. That's their snacks, snakes, and they fight them, and they're usually victorious. They bite them and kill them before they get bitten and killed. And if you see one cross your path before a journey, it's a very auspicious sign. So sometimes when I would go out for preaching, going to Delhi, I would see a mongoose run across the road, and I thought, oh, this is good, it's very good. So Radharani says, "Oh, you're a big black snake, Krishna Kundali, and you're going to hiss and bite me. But I am a Nakula stree, and I will bite you first. And you'll be finished." So then, that snake will simply bite him back. There'll be no opportunity for that snake to even get anywhere near that mongoose. So today is a very good opportunity for that to happen. In other words, she's saying, watch out, step aside. And this way, Radharani shows her inner desires, like a rose covered by a thin sheet. So you may have a rose flower and you put a sheet over it, a sheet of cloth, and you can't see it. But I smell a rose. Is there a rose? No, I don't know. And then so Radharani, she's covering the fragrance of her intense desire to love and be with Krishna. She's covering it by this playful, joking words. Oh, we don't care about the tax collector, and you say you're a snake, then we're a mongoose. But that's just a sheet covering the rose of her, the fragrant rose of her desire. Very nice analogy. Her grave feelings are covered by an external show of disrespect. How Rasik Radharani is in her joking pastime. She's just as humorous and funny as Shyam. So Dani Krishna stops the gopis when they try to pass. Lalita says, "Listen, I am Bhairavi." And Bhairavi is a form of Durga that eats men. "See if you have any guts to touch me, Shyam." Shyam is not able to get anywhere near Lalita. Then he tells Radharani, "Well, if you don't have any money to pay for tax, then listen, Sakhis, I'll tell you what, you can all go. Just leave Radharani here. She can be kept as payment. And you can go by yourselves. And I can accept that as payment." And the Sakhis say, No, we can't do that. Then Shyam says, "Okay, then let me see how you will go without my consent." Then the Sakhis say, "Okay, Radharani, we're all leaving. You stay here." Then Krishna says, "Where's the ghee for the sacrifice?" Then he forcibly grabs it from their pots and starts to eat it. And when Krishna touches the ghee, after pulling it from the gopis' heads, the Sakhis say, "Oh, now you spoiled this ghee, it's contaminated by your lips. It can't be used for the yajna. You spoiled the whole thing." When one even touches someone like you, he has to go. If one even touches someone like you, he has to go take a bath. Saying this, the Sakhis laugh and go on their way. So in this way, they exchange so many loving exchanges. And we have another description of this pastime, which we're going to read tomorrow, because it's so wonderful. It's such a major pastime of Krishna, Dan Bihari. It's sung and glorified in so many Brajbhasha songs and Hindi songs, and everyone is enamored and attracted by this pastime. It's so innocent and so childlike, and they're pulling back and forth. If you read Dan Keli Kumudi or Dan Keli Chintamani, you feel like this is the spiritual world. 100% pure, clean, happy, humorous fun. It's so nice. And the gopas are there, Subal, Madhamangal, and the gopis, and they're pulling back and forth, and it creates such wonderful images in your mind and such happy faces and joyful people. Because this age of Kali, everyone's suffering so intently and so intensely for various reasons, economic strains and family anxieties and health problems and health concerns, political tension and turmoil, terrorism. It's a very tense and anxious, contaminated, difficult age to exist. So without some soft corner in our mind and some sweet corner in our hearts to resort to, it's very difficult to pass one's days. So the spiritually minded and spiritually inclined individual, he can go to that sweet corner of his heart and that soft corner of his mind and get nourishment and get strength to carry on in this struggle for existence, prakriti stanikarshati, as Krishna says in Gita. Prakriti stanikarshati. We're stuck. We're all stuck here. Prakriti stani. Prakriti stan means stuck in the material world. That's Sanskrit. American slang. We're stuck here. Karshati means struggling back and forth. 2 steps forward, 5 steps back. Take a loan from the bank, can't pay it, go crazy. It's a very common thing now in Delhi. People taking big loans and they can't pay them. And they really have, then they find out what it means to be, what the price of greed is. It's basically greed when you take something you don't have and you take a loan. It's a difficult thing that exists. So we'll have Chaitanya Charitamrita story. And tomorrow we'll carry on a little bit more about this.